Good afternoon and welcome to the stream. It's Liverpool versus Everton. So the two teams are just walking out just now to see. I've got a bit of thing there. Just walking out just now. I'd like to say thank you to Pasang for his conversation last night. I believe that I did subscribe to your channel last night. Hopefully all is going well. Liverpool for the win. So I've just checked. Liverpool and Everton both lost their last game. I knew Liverpool had lost. I wasn't sure about Everton, but they also lost 2-0. And they're also very close in the league. So if Everton win this game, they've got a game in hand, by the way, they could go joint points with Liverpool. So it's going to be a close game between Liverpool and Everton, to be honest. And there's TSM. Hi TSM. Oh, can I chat there? Every time I try and chat in the software, it doesn't work. Right, TSM. Oh, I've done that again. Yeah, so it's going to be a close game, by the way. I'm not entirely sure who's going to win this game. So we'll just go through the teams. So Everton have Pickford. We'll come back to that in a second. And then in defence it's Coleman, Holgate, Keane, Godfrey. And then in midfield, once it changes the graphic, it's Rodriguez, Doucouré, André, Gomes, Davies, Digne. So they're playing five in midfield, and they're playing Richarlison up front. So is this the first game that Pickford has played against Liverpool since Van Dijk injury? I'm not sure if they've played since then. It was just something that I was thinking about when I was thinking about this game. So I'm not entirely sure about that, but it's going to be interesting. And Pickford, regardless, will be quite happy there's no fans in the stadium, because I just checked as well. Liverpool are 16 points behind Man City, 16 points, and quite a lot of that is going to be blamed on the fact that they don't have Van Dijk. So there's going to be a lot of booing, let's say, for Pickford. So he'll be very happy that there's nobody in the crowd. There's Van Dijk there in the stadium watching on. How's my volume, sound and lighting today? Keep going to speaking that one, it just doesn't work. One thing I'm going to double check though is I've got everything set up the way that it should be. What a surprise, that's done that again, but I've got a backup. I've got a backup. So there we are. So let's see it right. So it's been kicked off. So 15 seconds in there, and it's already a corner to Everton. 15 seconds in, they were straight on the attack there. So we see Richarlison just hovering about the 6-yard box here. Oh! Godfrey almost got an end of that. And I also remember as well that Alisson had a bad game against Leicester as well, so he's made a few mistakes. So it's going to be an interesting game, by the way. It's going to be an interesting game. I'm quite looking forward to this game. That's why I'm doing this game today. I thought I'll watch a game that I'm quite interested in, and Alisson's made a few mistakes. Both teams lost their last game. Obviously they both can't lose this time. They can get a draw, but not both teams can lose. So yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting game. Liverpool won midweek against Leipzig. Mané and Salah doing the business there. Rodriguez is picking up these past couple of weeks. When he started in the Premier League for Everton, he done really well, and then he kind of fell away at the wayside after about 7 games. But the past few games he's been doing okay, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think as well I've put in my description that the game's on BT Sports, but it's actually on Sky Sports. Oops. But there we are. I never seem to get this just spot on, but there we go. So that's the question. How did PUBG go last night? Did it? Well, this morning. It was your 6 in the morning, and it was mine last night. How did it go? Did it go quite well? I mean, I think the lighting's a lot better. I've got 2 cameras now, so it should be a lot better. I'm hoping that's the case anyway. It was PUBG, sorry. I meant to say PUBG. And there's Everton, and they scored! I was just replying to TSM there and they scored. Sorry about that. Just looking at the... he's onside there. And it's your man. It is, isn't it? It's your man, Pa Sung. It's Richarlison. I was just saying there about James Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a fantastic ball through two defenders, and Richarlison gets onto it. And it's a fantastic goal. Yep, absolutely. That's only 3 minutes in. I need to change that as well. I need to change that. So, yeah, Pa Sung, your man scored. Here we see Liverpool obviously kicking off here after conceding that goal early on. So it's only 3 minutes in now. Liverpool have it all to do, and Jordan Henderson again is playing in defence. Don't Liverpool have don't they have anybody else that can play in defence? I know that when Van Dijk got injured, they played Gomes, and then he got injured. But surely they must have somebody from youth that can come in and play in that position. Because Jordan Henderson does better between midfield and defence. There's James had a bit of a nasty knock. A wee dig there by my fellow Scotsman, Andy Robertson. So it just comes up there that Klopp is unbeaten in all 12 derbies. It definitely does bode well for him, not being beat. But how do you then get your team back on track when they've pretty much conceded the league? But here we are. Here's Robertson. He's out wide. He sees that there's a few people in the box, but he plays it back to Thiago. There's a long ball there by Henderson trying to get onto Salah, who ran and didn't follow the ball. It was strange. He's seen the ball coming, started to run, so when he did run, the ball landed where it was. It was an interesting run there from Salah and not watching the ball. But there we are. We see Everton. Everton keeping quite a good compact shape here. And Everton will also know that they could have a mistake in Pickford, so they'll be looking not to put too much pressure on Pickford. As I say, I think he'll be thinking about what happened with Van Dijk. As I say, there's nobody in the stadium that helps him, because otherwise, as I said, they would have been getting booed. And here's Henderson trying to obviously get the ball forward, and the further he comes forward, the more he's going to be out of his defensive duties. But Thiago's sat back, sat back in place of Henderson. There's Thiago. There is some space. There's not much, but there's some space centrally. So you might see Liverpool going a bit more central. You hear that on the 18-yard box, ball through! Just doesn't get to Mané, but it was certainly close. Yeah, because Liverpool play with their two wing backs, Arnold and Robertson. That's where they usually play, down the flanks. But there's some space down the centre, because obviously those two are pulling the Everton team sideways, so there's more space. Narrowly, let's see what's happening. Oh! Everton up to the final third again. Richarlison, and that was a bad mistake by Doucouré, and it's like Liverpool going on the counter attack. Firmino, Salah, Mané's in the box, crosses in, good save there by Pickford. That was a bad mistake there up the park by Everton. Just like that, Liverpool went in and almost scored. Yes, Trent-Arnold. That's what Everton's going to have to look out for. If they push people forward, then they can get caught by Liverpool, who can move the ball really quickly. I mean, they've got the likes of Wijnaldum in midfield, and Thiago. These two players can play fantastic balls, which will easily go up to the likes of Salah and Mané, and they can either control it or pass it on. So Everton definitely have to watch that. Here's Mané. Pass. Thiago. Robertson. Robertson's got Thiago. Puts it back to Thiago. Good ball in the box. And Trent-Arnold thinks it's going out and he doesn't run for the ball, but I think it's going to be given as a corner. Yeah, he gave up on the ball there, but I think it just went out for a corner. I think it just touched the defender no more. It's given a corner. So we're only 10 minutes in here. It's been quite a good game thus far. Oh, there was a... So yeah, Wijnaldum can't get his head. Can't get the ball directed goalwards. So far so good. If you're a Liverpool fan, you're definitely a little bit frustrated, but from what you can see, after conceding the goal, they've done quite well. They've not sat back. They've had a few attacks that have been quite promising. I think there's definitely going to be a goal by Liverpool by half time. So let's see. Does it not show it in South Korea? No, I thought it did show it in South Korea. Yeah, I thought it did show in South Korea. Shows you what I know. I know nothing about geography. That is one subject at school that I just didn't really appeal to me. I thought I know the way home and I know the way to the shop, and that was it. That's all I had to know. And then as I got older, as long as I knew shop, home, pub, I was happy. Here's Richarlison. He did run to the corner flag there, and the ball was taken off him by Trent Arnold to push them in there. But Everton are playing quite a high tempo game, playing quite a pressing game. Jordan Henderson, how many mistakes has he made these past these past 5, 6, 7 weeks? He's not made many mistakes, but he's certainly been caught out a couple of times. So I think any team that does play against Liverpool will definitely try and exploit that. I think that's what Everton is trying to do. Trying to exploit it, the first opportunity that they get, and they've already scored one. Do we think that Mohamed Salah... Oh, right over the ball! It's Richarlison! It was goalkeeper straight through to Richarlison, but the ball bounced and went behind him, but he still got it. He's passed it back. Here's Everton still in the attack. And that's going to be a throw-in. Do we think that Mo Salah will be at Liverpool by the end of the transfer window? Or do you think he might go to the likes of Real Madrid or Barcelona? Because he is going to be a cheaper purchase than some players, i.e. Mbappe. Although I think Mbappe will go to one of those two. Here's Everton again on the attack. And it's Richarlison, and the move breaks down. Liverpool's defence is all over the place. They just can't seem to keep the ball away from the goal. But here's Salah trying to get the ball through to Mané, and I think it was Keane. It was Keane with the interception. He's been a fantastic purchase by Everton these past 6 seasons. I think it was 6. 6 seasons. So far, it's definitely been Everton with the better chances. But as I said, if you're a Liverpool fan, it's not been all doom and gloom. They have reacted well since conceding the goal. Defensively, though, they seem a little bit shaky, and it's going to be interesting to see how long they can go on for doing this. I really don't know if they've got anybody in the youth or in the reserves that they could call up. Because playing Henderson there, he's a lot more efficient between defence and midfield than he is as a defender. Just seen that goal again by Richarlison. It was a well-weighted pass, and it was perfectly taken right across the goalkeeper. Had no chance. And there's James Rodriguez brought down again, so it's going to be yet another free kick. And this time it's not in a dangerous position, but it's certainly more up the park so that Everton can get more people forward. Different. Who do we think is going to score for Liverpool if they do score? And there's, oh, it was a good save there by Alisson. Everton took the free kick and it was James. And he's went for it and he's almost caught Alisson. He's almost caught him there. So if Liverpool lose today, I think, and if Man City win, I think that's Man City 19 points clear. But all Liverpool really need to focus on is top four. But if they lose this, Everton go joint points. The goal difference is quite significant. But that's something that Everton won't be too bothered about at this stage of the season. They'll just look to pick up points, and at the end of the season they'll look to see where their goal difference tally is. And again, there's the second or third time that the ball's been played over Liverpool midfield and gave their defence some trouble. Doucouré did run on there, didn't quite get to it. But how many times are Liverpool going to get this warning? And it is quite windy as well. So because Everton are playing left to right and the wind's blowing left to right, the ball is travelling quite a lot in the air, which again is quite significant. Gives the ball much longer flight when it's kicked in from either the goalkeeper or defender. Here we are, Trent Arnold, Mané just outside the box. And it's Firmino, and it's a last ditch tackle there by Michael Keane. It's going to be a corner. Firmino just comes in last second into the box and almost catches the Everton defenders off guard. Fantastic last ditch here by Keane. That's what Firmino brings to the team. Quite a lot of wisdom and experience. Now we are just talking about that wind there. The ball just kind of caught the air, then moves quite significantly in the air. Could be quite a difficult day for some goalkeepers, depending on which side they play. Oh, fantastic shot there by Jordan Henderson. And that's what I'm saying. If he's playing defensively, or he's playing in defence, he isn't going to get many of these opportunities just outside the 18-yard box. And it was a fantastic save there by Pickford. Outside of the right foot there by Jordan Henderson. That would have been a spectacular goal. But to anybody that's watching the game and a Liverpool fan, they're definitely going to be seeing what Liverpool are missing up the park, because obviously he's playing in defence, which is not good if you are chasing the game. You want your best players in their best positions. And here's Salah. It's quite stormy here actually. I'm in Scotland and the game's been played in Liverpool, which is 150 miles maybe. So yeah, it's quite stormy out there, so I can definitely see how bad the weather is when they're playing. Let's see, go back to chat. Has anybody in the chat ever tried to do keep uppies while it's windy? It's never good fun. But here's Mané. Right, you've got a few players. I was going to say you've got a few players. And again, what a shot! What a save by Pickford! Trent Arnold comes in late. That's twice in the past 3 minutes that two players have come in late for Liverpool. Just catching the Everton defence off guard. I believe he did touch that for a corner. Is it going to be given? No. And it is, yeah. It's going to be given. Here's Thiago. So I think Liverpool definitely have identified where Everton are weaker, and what Everton are doing, they are obviously chasing the man. So the man could be Salah, could be Firmino, could be Mané, and they're going really deep when they go into the box. And what they're doing is they're leaving a lot of space outside the 18-yard box, and that allows a player to then come on, whether that be Salah, Firmino, Mané, Trent Arnold, or Jordan Henderson, depending on who they tell to drop off. So that's twice now. To be fair, it was 2 good saves, and they've got a corner from both. So that's where Everton are weak just now, and we see that Liverpool are trying to exploit that. But let's see if they do. Here's Everton again, André. And Richarlison, the ball came to him, but he was offside, so there was nothing that he could do. Everton are playing five in midfield at the moment, and there's a long ball over. It's just too far for Salah. I thought the wind would have caught that just a tiny bit and slowed the pace down. But we're 23 minutes in, and so far it's been quite good. Liverpool are starting to identify the weak spots of Everton, and Everton are, because Liverpool are pushing up quite high, they're able to catch them on the counter attack. So either team could score, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. Here's Mané pass. Oh, he had Firmino there making a good run, and he just played the ball too late. That had all the makings there of a goal shooting opportunity. Here's Thiago. We see Henderson. So thus far the game's been okay. We've seen some good play by both teams. I think they have both identified where the other team's a bit poor at the moment, and that's only due to each team chasing the game or trying to defend the lead. And there's Henderson with a slight knock. He'll be hoping. Klopp's got a bit of a wry smile there. He'll be hoping that it's nothing serious. I don't think they've got anybody else that they can either put in defence. Seemed to be that. Did he get touched? Yeah, it seems to be that he just went down. And when you go down like that, it definitely signals hamstring. That's one thing they don't need. That's one thing that other people do not need, is another injury to anybody that plays in defence. Got a few. Oh, it looks like there's going to be a change though. Who's this coming on? George, who's coming on? If you're watching the game, you should be able to tell me who this is. He's struggling to get his joggy bottoms over his football boots. Let's try to stretch it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can. The danger is though, if he does try and walk it off or jog it off, he could make it a lot worse. I think he feels like he can power on through it. I don't know. Anything to do with the hamstring area is pretty dodgy. Usually if your hamstring goes, that's it. But the way he's touching now could be a groin. Even that's a risky one. Anytime you get a groin injury, no point playing on because it just makes it a lot worse. But here we are. Liverpool continue with 10 men on the back. Let's see if Everton can make this superior numbers count. You think Salah's going to score, eh? Salah, King Salah. Here's Henderson back on. No, he's back down again, that's it. He's signalled to the bench that his game's over. He tried to continue, but nah, that's it. Game over for Henderson. And he's going to give the captain's armband. I tell you, it definitely, when it rains, it pours for Klopp, by the way. So they're bringing on Nat Phillips. I don't know. This is going to be, to be honest, I think that's now going to be Everton just attacking more that centre of Liverpool's defence, and they'll be looking to get a second goal, third goal before half time. If the season wasn't over now, it's definitely over after this injury. Sorry, if it wasn't over before, it's definitely over now. I was just looking at the cat there, and I was thinking. Anyway, right, so let's get this game a little bit more interesting, because it's turning doom and gloom. Too many injuries. Sad times. Could be. Here's a free kick in a deadly position. Godfrey. What do people think of Godfrey? What do they think of his step up from Championship to Premiership? I know he played for Norwich prior, but Arnold eyeing it up, and it's over. That pretty much sums up Liverpool's first half. Nothing spectacular thus far. And here's Pickford. I think it makes it a little bit more interesting. What do we think of Godfrey since coming up again after playing for Norwich and then getting relegated and coming back up to Everton? And there's a bad mistake there by Pickford, and Mané's got it. He's been dispossessed by Doucouré. Who do you think is going to score next? Everton, Liverpool? How do you think both teams have been playing this far in the first half? Anyone that is watching it? There's Richarlison, he's offside though. There was a pass there to be had, but he just strayed offside, and there's Godfrey got it. Now Richarlison again, he's just ran too quick. He needs to just slow down his runs. Oh, what a save by Alisson! What a save! What a shot there! Cross came in and Coleman got an end of it, and Alisson with an absolutely spectacular save there. Could Coleman have done better? Yes. I'm just watching the replay, and it was central. But Coleman doesn't really get many goals, so you can forgive him for not putting it in any of the bottom corners. But still, good save from Alisson, and here's Rodriguez. Doucouré! Just didn't quite get it. Been quite impressed with how Everton have been playing this first half. If you're a Liverpool fan and you're not watching any of the other watch-alongs and you're watching this one, well, yeah, thank you. But I think on those ones there's going to be a lot more anger. Let's say a lot more anger, because to win the league one season, and okay, you do lose 2 players, and then just to fall apart like this is mind-boggling how a team can be so consistent in Europe, yet in the Premier League they've just fallen apart. And here's Salah's got the ball, and what a shot, and it's went wide. Jones. Yeah, what's your thoughts on how Liverpool's season's going? They started off quite well, and last season they done obviously fantastically by winning the league. Season before they done fantastically, Liverpool, Man City. This season they've not done well, and they've only had 2 shots on target. Everton have had 3. So we're definitely seeing it's just a kind of a change in the guard, because they've not won it enough times. So this season it's going to be Man City that's going to win the league. But what do Liverpool do? Do they rebuild? Do they take the players they've got and think they're pretty much good enough and only buy 1 or 2 players? I know that when Wijnaldum may be leaving Liverpool, personally I think Salah will go away as well. I honestly believe that he's going to leave this summer transfer window. And here's Everton on the attack. And again, Richarlison is just too far ahead. Just who was it I watched that day that I watched them, and they played on the shoulder fantastically. But anyway, here's Thiago. He won the ball and he's been brought down. But play on, the ref says it's Jones. Bad touch by Jones. And it's Salah. Just put it in the box. He's trying to beat his man, looking for the 1-2. Firmino, Thiago. And it's going to be a free kick to Liverpool. I think Liverpool there should have played the ball a lot quicker and put the ball in the box. They were just playing in and around the 18-yard box too much. Now they've seen earlier that when they're in the box and play the ball back out the box, there's someone there to run in. So that's always an option, but they've just tried to pass it about too much. And they've conceded a free kick. But yeah, go back to Liverpool. Where do we see them? Next year, who do we see going out? Do we see players coming in? Do we see 2 players, 3 players come in? Or do we see quite a lot? Does Klopp need another big transfer window to turn around Liverpool's woes, for want for a better word? There's a ball in there, and it was just in the side netting. It was headed there by Phillips. Free kick wasn't that good. Phillips tried to head it in when he should have probably tried to put it back into the box, but it wasn't a stretch. No, that wasn't worrying Pickford at all. The game's alright so far. So far. So to here. I'm hoping that Calvert-Lewis comes on at some point. That's a point as well, George. That's what I'm saying. I've been watching a few Liverpool games, and Graham might be able to testify to this. And just the body language from Salah just isn't the same that it used to be. Whether off the ball, when he's celebrating goals, just doesn't have that same body language. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see where he is next season, but I think he's going to be gone. Personally, I don't see him staying. I really don't. I could be wrong. He's done it. He's done everything in the Premier League. He's won the league. He's won the Champions League. I mean, you can argue about the FA Cup and the Charity Shield and the Carabao Cup, but people always say that those things don't matter. It's only the Premier League and Champions League, so I don't think it's going to be a loss if he doesn't get those. I think he'll move on. And with Real Madrid and Barcelona on a budget, well, we call it a budget. To them it's a budget. To anybody else it's a good transfers kitty, but to them it's a budget, and they're going to have to spend wisely. And bringing in Salah for a season or two wouldn't be a bad option. Barcelona obviously had Suarez, and he done fantastically for Barcelona, so they know what they're getting. If Salah won the ball back, he tried to put the ball in, and it was defended there by Everton. Davies with 3 class tackles today though. See, I don't know if they're selling though. Aye, I think George is right. It isn't a sinking ship. They may not sell. They may not want to sell. Wait, I'll go back to chat. They may not want to sell, but he'll go. I don't believe that Liverpool could keep Salah even if they wanted to. And here we're seeing, and it's a bad defensive clearance there by Everton. I don't see how. I don't see how Liverpool could keep Salah now. I think Mané might be going away. And that could be argued, well, you can only sell one, you can't possibly sell both, because otherwise you're taking the spine away from the Liverpool team. As I say that, here's Mané, he's beat one man, nutmegged another, got to Jones, Salah puts the ball in, and Pickford grabs it in there. Yeah, so I mean, I personally don't see him staying. I don't. They'll bring back Van Dijk and Gomes, so that's a defensive partnership's basically sorted. Midfield, Wijnaldum, I think is going to go. James Milner's 35, so he can't play too many games. But then with Jordan Henderson, they've got a defensive mid. They need to strengthen midfield. I think they would be looking at a striker anyway, because Firmino is a good link-up man, but he's not an out-and-out striker. He only does well in this trio of players. You put him up front himself, and he's not that good. He just isn't. He's not that good at all. He's not a Heskey, but he is like a Heskey type player that he could play a whole season and not score and not have many assists, but still have a good season because he's pulling defenders away. He's creating holes. He's creating channels for other players to run into. So that's my thoughts on Liverpool. Now Everton, on the other hand, they are going to go strength to strength. There's a free kick. There's a free kick to Liverpool. He's already been told that he needs to stop it. I don't think he's on a yellow yet. But yeah, Everton with Ancelotti, and they've brought in Rodriguez, and they've got Calvin Lewis. So they've definitely got a good squad moving forward. They've got Keane and they've got Godfrey. They, like all teams, need to buy players if they want to start moving up the league. But if they're happy to finish in 8th place, then there's not much that they have to do. If they want to push on to top 6, top 4, then they're going to have to spend. And it's not just spending for spending's sake, you have to spend wisely. And that's what's difficult. And the ball almost got through there to Salah, but Keane saw it all the way and cleared it. So yeah, so that's my thinking on that. Half time. Is it half time yet? No, 1 minute to go. TSN, 1 minute, and then it's going to be half time, and it's going to be 1-0 to Everton, I believe, because Liverpool haven't had much to do in this. Well, haven't done much in this half. To be honest, Gomes booked with a yellow. Yeah. You sure? Well, yeah, it could be actually. 1 minute. So this is the thing. I do have 2 screens to watch this, but my screen just isn't working. So I'm back to just the laptop. I need to get that one fixed so I can do both. But anyway, here's Everton. They're up the park. Here's Gomes. Ball's played in, and Richarlison can't get on to the end of it. What a touch here by Mané, and he gets pulled down by Keane. Yeah, that's going to be a free kick to Everton now. Kabak there. So stoppage time is 4 minutes due to Henderson taking a while to come off the park, and obviously he was down injured for a while. Then he tried to play on and he couldn't play on. The game's okay. I mean, the game's okay for a derby. You always think derby games are going to be high intensity, but without the fans, it does lose a lot of that intensity. I don't think that I could ever imagine passing the ball 5 yards and it doesn't quite get to my teammate, and then I've got 50,000 people in the stadium booing my name. So that must give you some pressure. Here's Gomes. Puts the ball in, and it's defended. But again, Richarlison was just making his run there too early. And if it had have got through to him, it was going to be offside anyway. He needs to watch his runs. He's already scored today, so surely some of the pressure and the early nerves should be out of his system by now. And here's Robertson up the park, and Everton got it. Gomes, Liverpool were quite open at the back, and they just couldn't. Everyone couldn't quite get their head up there just to see that there was some space. But here we go again. Richarlison keeps running. He's trying to check his run now. Right, just put the ball in because this would be the last touch. In fact, it's actually the 47th minute. There's only meant to be 4 minutes of stoppage time that we're still playing. I mean, there's Fergie time and there's Scouse time. And there's Everton almost got through that. See if Everton score or Liverpool score, the other team's going to go mental. It's 3 minutes extra of stoppage time. The referee doesn't seem to be looking at all to blow his whistle. Liverpool went from their half to Everton's half, and he's not called the whistle yet. Still playing, 47 minutes. The ball free to Mané, 18-yard box. He's still got it. Can he get it in the box? Gets it in. Firmino, Salah. Can't quite control it. And I think that's it's still in. Thought it was an extra goal kick there. 48 minutes. Do you know, I've just realised that when I was looking at I just realised when I was looking at the time there that I was thinking 40 minutes for some strange reason was half time rather than 45 minutes. Don't know. I'm going to blame it on energy drink. That's what I'm going to blame it on. I don't know. I must have been thinking of what plays 40 minutes. Is it rugby that plays 40 minutes? So yeah, so there's actually 10 seconds left of stoppage time. It's alright, I'll have my hardware guy back next week. You can do all the hardware, eh? Yeah, no, that's true. I think he'll come off. And there we are, there's half time. So apologies, I thought it was 40 minutes and a half, I don't know why. I'm going to blame it though on my energy drink, and just because I probably shouldn't really do this, but I'm going to drink another can of energy. So there we go. I'm not drinking alcohol anymore, so energy drink it is. And if you hear an ambulance, it'll be for me because I've collapsed on this stuff. Is anybody watching this on a desktop? If you are, I'll type it. Graham, are you still there? TSM, what are you up to? I think Ian's left, by the way. I'll have to get Ian back in. Need to get Ian back in. Well, that's quite windy. That's good, just making sure it works, because it doesn't work on mobile, I know that much. And I have tested it on my other account, but what I found was some videos weren't showing that bottom right hand corner, so I just thought I'd ask. But yeah, I mean, what do folk like talking about in watch-alongs? Because most of the time, people on watch-alongs are watching it at the same time. They're not always just listening. So it's always interesting to see what people are wanting to discuss or talk about. If we're to talk about dancing, I'll talk about dancing. I'm a great dancer. I'm not really, but there we are. Wonder if Ian's going to come back in. Let's see just now. Is he going to come back in? You watched the Chile video. Well, I've got another one planned, and I might do it after this video, after this watch along, because to do it I need to set it up, and I've got it all set up. The only thing is I need to get cameras set up in other parts of the house. So depending on how the weather is, because I've got a funny feeling that because the last time I was sick, it made a mess in the bathroom. So I don't want to do that. So if I'm going to be sick, I'll do it outside. And it's windy, and you don't want to be sick and get the sick back on you. So, I mean, it could be quite funny, but it wouldn't be funny for me. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant to do it tonight. But I'll see. And then again, it is quite dark, but we'll see. Because my friend done it, and he didn't fare too well after doing it. I think it upset one of his ulcers, and he was ill for 3-4 weeks afterwards. Just kept having stomach problems, which is not what you want when you've got an ulcer. You don't want to obviously have it cause you problems. You and the wife. Well, there you go. She was definitely crying about something. I don't know if she was crying about that though. She maybe just thinks, I don't know what wives think. Don't know what anybody thinks. Yeah. Oh, there's Graham Souness in the studio. Always like listening to Graham Souness. You just know it's going to be Pogba. But what a goal there by Everton. Just catching the defence of Liverpool. As casual as you like. Wait a second. Oh, there you go. Shut up. So I'm thinking about becoming an evil overmaster. I've got my cat. All I need now is my lair, and I could be what's that person from James Bond? Could be that person. But there you go. Pony, well, I can guarantee you that pony is going to be lost. You're never winning that back. Ever. Just didn't bet money. Just don't bet. You'd be as well just going out and throwing your money against a wall, honestly. Because you're never going to see that back. There's no chance. I don't even know what Graham Souness is saying. He just looks quite animated. I want to see how he's doing. I want to hear what he's saying. But I'm afraid if I turn it up, I'll get copyrighted. You don't want that. What was the odds of Liverpool coming back and winning against Everton? Well, there you go. If you lost a fair bit last night, that's why the wife's crying, by the way. Not because of the video. You may have found it funny. She didn't find it funny. She was crying that you lost money. That's what that is. I should probably watch what I'm saying in the video, to be fair. Hi Cat. Who have you got for tomorrow? Man U versus Newcastle. I'm thinking, come on Man U. Oh, watch cables. How's the weather in the rest of the world? In Scotland it's stormy. Stormy weather. The wind is heavy and the rain is lashing off the windows. It's actually a bit like a tropical storm, just not with the heat. It's a bit what it's like, to be honest. So let's see. How's the weather? How is everyone? I think in this next half I'm going to get a little bit more animated. Just giving your ears some warning. Surely Manchester can't be that much different from Liverpool. You pretty much, you pretty much share the same latitude. You go TSM, yeah, but there's a question. Oh, Everton, you're going for Everton. I think Everton's going to win it as well, TSM, to be honest. I think they're going to see this one out. Liverpool have lost Van Dijk, Gomes and now Henderson, so they just keep having their defensive choices wiped out. Sometimes when it rains it's quite warm. See? Nice and warm. That's when you don't mind some rain. When it's nice and warm and it rains, you're thinking that's really good. The only bad thing is thunder normally isn't that far away. But yeah, here it's raining and it's cold. What is the temp? See, that's a question. What sort of temperature are you getting over there when it rains? So it shouldn't be too long now until the second half kicks off. And Bale had quite a good game for Tottenham the other night there. So what do we think of his his impact in the past couple of weeks, do we think that that's him now turned the corner and it's because he's now that little bit fitter, that he's playing that bit better, or do we think it was just because it was a side that wasn't that good? But to be fair though, you've got to be good to get to that level of the Europa League. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Cold. That's cold. -6. It's freezing. I'm not surprised that you're in the house playing PUBG. I'd be in the house as well if it was -6. That's absolutely Baltic. Baltic weather. Check something else. What else in here? Yeah, I've got sound turned off, that's fine. Just making sure. Oh, sugar. This is the worst thing about playing with a laptop, it just it just moves too much. But yeah, so stats at the moment, Liverpool had quite good stats in the first half, but they didn't really turn it into too much. They had 2 shots on target, and then they had 4 shots off target. So that kind of sums up Liverpool's day, really. You know, it's quite difficult for any team to get a result. There's a cat standing in front of the floodlight again. The cat thinks it's Batman. It's trying to put its silhouette up in the wall. Interesting. Interesting chat there. Let's see. Let's take this there and then put this there and do that there. Oh, do you get snow in South Korea? I mean, I suppose it depends where you are in South Korea, but do you ever get snow? Right, there's the second half kicked off. Right, this half is going to be a little bit more loud on, a little bit more passionate. Always seem to get into it more coming second half. I should really do, like tomorrow I'm doing 2 games. So I'm doing the Arsenal game and I'm doing the Man United game. That should be good. As long as we win, I will be fine. If we don't win, then I'll be crying and you'll see a grown man cry. Oh, it's good save there by Pickford. Mané gets an end of a cross and just headers it in. But what he did was he headed it and it was in the opposite direction from where Pickford was moving. So Pickford had to quickly respond. And he will be the England number 1, I think, come Euro now 2021. Right, I'll cancel that. I cancelled it. Yeah, sometimes. We had about 7 inches. Aye, would you say that's about right? We had about 7 inches of snow in a day, and that's to Graham, because if Graham's watching, he'll know how much snow we had. Meow. See, this cat's alright, doesn't really do anything, it just wanders about, doesn't get an chew or anything like the other cats. Here we are, here's Trent-Arnold. Firmino, as I say, Firmino's more like a shadow striker, he's more of a link man, and he's linked at Mané, who's trying to play the ball to Salah, who's got it. Here's Trent-Arnold telling Salah just to give him the ball and move on. Is there any reason, and this question is directed at anyone really, why is Salah playing more on the wing and not playing more central? Because there's a few times that he's had the opportunity to get into the box and he's not made that run. And it seems to be him and Trent-Arnold on the right hand side. If everybody's got an answer to that one, I will be intrigued to know. I will be intrigued because I'm not sure why he's playing more as a winger. That's a good question actually. Why is Salah playing? I mean, I'm half expecting Alisson to go out and play as a striker at this rate. Every player for Liverpool seems to be playing in a position that they're not familiar with. A bit of exaggeration. But here's Mané, we see Mané, and he's making a run, and he's got it, and he's trying to beat the defender. And Salah, he had Salah there for support, of course, because Salah was on the wing there. But Trent-Arnold trying to get to Gomes. And here's Trent-Arnold, puts the ball in, and it's just... He put the ball in there, but it was well defended there by Everton. I thought he had scored there actually. But here's Salah, is he going to get to it? Just gets to it before the byline. Liverpool have come out with all guns blazing. And we see a good cross there, and Mané gets to it, and Mané puts it over the bar. Just couldn't keep it down. Should have done a lot better there. As he looks at the sky, thinking, "Yep, should have done a lot better there." That was a great ball there by Trent-Arnold. But Mané just couldn't get over it and keep the ball down. So Everton came out the first half and they had the better 5 minutes, and then they went on to pretty much dominate the first half. Will we see the same? Will we see Liverpool do the same in this half? Because they've come out stronger. And we see Richarlison chasing down the ball, and Alisson gets there. Yeah, so when in Scotland, because of like global warming and stuff, apparently we've had a lot less snow over the past couple of years, but this year it's snowed quite a lot. It's caused quite a lot of disruption in Scotland anyway. I don't know about England or South England, I just know for Scotland. But Texas had one of their first snowfalls in 10 years, 20 years, and they had to shut everything down because obviously in Texas they're not used to it. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's an interesting time when you look at how the climate's changing and the weather patterns. As we say that, obviously, I was saying tonight it's quite windy in Liverpool. It's Trent-Arnold. He plays a fantastic diagonal ball, but it's well intercepted there by Everton, but it only goes as far as Mané. Mané gets it back! And that was well defended there, I think, by Godfrey. It gave Pickford enough time to get to it. That was Keane. Was it Godfrey or was it Keane? That was Keane. Because Godfrey was the person, was the defender behind. Yeah, it was a good tackle there by Keane. dangerous so when you go in with your with your foot in a sliding tackle. So what do we think? What's the odds then about these teams winning? Who do you think is going to win now? 52 minutes gone. Good ball there by Trent Arnold, and again it was Keane to the Everton rescue. As Graham jumped off again. It's definitely a mental game, like it is. I think Klopp went mental. So Grim is Graham on chat, and if you watch any of the old videos, he's usually sitting here, but he's coming back next week, and he's the hardware guy, so it's good. It means he can set up all this stuff, and all I need to do is focus on the software side. That's usually what happens, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, because he's more of a tactical guy. He knows more about the tactics than what I do, and I've got all the banter. But with banter, you need to be careful. You need to know what to say and when to say it. And if people in the chat start saying stuff, then I can latch onto that and have a laugh. But if I don't say anything, then there's not a lot I can say, unless just in case, because it could be offensive. You can say anything. You could say red. It would be offensive to someone. For example, somebody that I know only wears the colour blue because that's the colour of the football team. They would never wear red because it's the colour of the rival team. So there you go. You mentioned red to them in a sentence, and it could be offensive. But there we are. Here's Trent Arnold. He's backtracked, and he's got the ball back. But we see Salah, 1-2. Trent Arnold still got it in the box, puts it in. He put it over the head of Mané. That should have been put onto Mané's head there, rather than over playing for the person behind him. Here's Jones. Don't know if he was. I think he was looking for the 1-2 there with Mané. But here's Firmino, takes a shot, and it's easily dealt with by Pickford. Just try to think who can Liverpool bring on to give this game a little bit more creative opportunities, or a little bit more in this game. Liverpool don't really have too many options. They may bring on Shaqiri. That could be one option. Here's Thiago, and he's played a side pass, but it's went a little bit obscure. Anybody that's also watching the game as well will see that Liverpool have upped the tempo, and it's quite good. They're moving the ball quite well between them. But what they're also doing as well, when they're moving the ball, sometimes when they're further up the park, that last ball just eludes them. And here's Thiago, and as I say that, he's not even up the park, and it was a bit of a bad pass there. Fortunately, Liverpool were able to retain possession. Here's Arnold. He's had quite a good game actually. Here's Salah looking for the 1-2, and he's been brought down, has he? No, the referee says no foul. Let's see the replay. Was he looking for this? Yeah, he's been touched, but he's went down like he's been shot by a sniper. Correct call there by the by the referee. Let me see. Let's see who's talking. Who is talking? Gotta watch out. Exactly. It is. YouTube is. I keep pressing that button. Yeah. So there's going to be a substitution here by Everton. And off comes Gomes for Sigurdsson. Now, as George said in the chat, Gomes was an accident waiting to happen. So it's only 58 minutes in, so we can only assume that's why he's been subbed off. Because the manager would like to keep 11 men on the park. And Gomes was just going in with some crazy tackles. Unnecessary. But here we see Salah to Firmino. Firmino gets it and he plays the ball back, but a little bit too quick. Pointless. What's the point in getting the ball 5 yards away and passing it 5 yards back when the player hasn't had time to move? You know, take the ball, let the person move, then play the ball back. But here's Arnold. It's a lovely ball through. All this game needs is a player like Rafinha. If they had Rafinha from Leeds, I believe that Liverpool would definitely be in this game with a shout. Here's Everton. And he's lost possession! And it's going to be a free kick. Thiago got the ball off the ball back, but it was deemed to be a free kick on Holgate. If it wasn't, then Liverpool were through there, 3 or 4 and 2. I don't think it was a free kick, to be honest. He did get the ball and then Holgate just put his foot into the back of Thiago. As I said earlier, if you're watching this game, oh, and there you go, George. The man, the myth, the legend is on the sidelines. And as I say that, here's Richarlison. Is he going to get onto it? He gets on the end of it, tries to play it back, and it goes nowhere. It goes back to Liverpool. But the man, the myth, the legend is going to come on. Let's see what he can do. He's had a fantastic season this season, Calvin Lewis. Here's Richarlison. Tries to do something in the box, but he gets dispossessed. I wonder if he's going to be the man coming off, or if Everton will take a midfielder and push Calvin Lewis on and bring Richarlison more into midfield. It shall be an interesting substitution. Richarlison hasn't done much in this half, but again, he's not really had much opportunity. And I think that's James Rodriguez. It is. Rodriguez is coming off. And they're bringing on Calvert-Lewin. So this could be a swap in midfield. They'll bring Richarlison, bring him more into midfield and push Calvin up. Rodriguez, I think he only done one good play in that entire game. Didn't really do too much. So we shall see. Here comes Shaqiri for Liverpool. Shaqiri for Curtis Jones. I'm quite happy to see Shaqiri get some game time for Liverpool. He's played the past 2-3 months, and he was a player that was facing the door just a few months ago. So it's good to see that he's getting his game and he's been able to force himself back on to well, back into Klopp's team. I was going to say force himself back onto the pitch, but yeah, he's forced himself back into Klopp's team, and he's got himself on the bench, and he's coming off the bench quite regular and having quite an impact. I think I've drank too much energy just now. Earlier I forgot it was 45 minutes and a half when I thought it was 40, and now my brain's just in overdrive because of energy. But let's go back to chat. There we are, there's Richarlison. He's got the ball, he's going through. Can he pass it? Tries to get the ball to Calvin, and he's dispossessed. Ball goes back. Everton shoot. And it was an easy one for Alisson. Alisson gets the ball out straight away. Trying to catch Everton on the counter-attack, but Everton come in with the high press and they've squashed any idea of a Liverpool counter-attack. So yeah, so if you're a Liverpool fan, then thanks TSM. I honestly, this is I'll put it in right. This is a true question. Honestly, I've drank too much energy. Just true question, right? I'll just put that there because so YouTube see it. See, I don't know what people want. If they want commentary, if they want like all commentary, or if they want talking and a little bit of commentary, or half and half, or how I do it with commentary when there's something interesting happen, and then the rest of it is just talking about stuff that comes up in chat. There's Skiri, and he got the ball on the edge of the box there, but Everton just cleared it. He was lining himself up there for a shot. That was fantastic. But Shaqiri's come on the park and he's finding a lot of space. He's found space again. He's passed the ball to Wijnaldum, Mané, Trent-Arnold in the box, and nobody was in the box here. The ball actually went from Trent-Arnold to out of play, but it went across the 18-yard box, the 6-yard box, and if anybody was on the back post, then that was a goal. Every Everton defender was beaten, and the goalkeeper was beaten as well. But it was a late run there from Firmino and Wijnaldum there. They got in too late. But that's the story of this game. As I said in the first half, Liverpool were having a lot of success when they brought players in. Sorry, when they had players running late. And I think that's why Firmino and Wijnaldum was late there on the run in. But there was nobody in the box, and as I said earlier, again there's Salah on the wing here. Salah wasn't in the box, but here's Thiago to Shaqiri. Shaqiri sees Robertson open, passes 1-2. Goes to Mané, who's had the ball. Yeah, he had the ball, but Holgate just bars him off it. And there's Mané shouting at the referee. Don't know what he's saying, but he's angry. And the referee's pulled out a yellow card. I do not know what he says, but yeah, Mané's 1-on-1 with Holgate. Holgate goes down. Absolutely nothing in that, and the referee gives a foul against Mané. So he gives the referee the stare of death and starts shouting at him. So he gets a yellow card. That was quite a funny thing to see. I'm going to go back to chat now. Yeah, so it's just to see like what style do peeps prefer. And here's Thiago, and there's Arnold. It was Salah tried to play the ball through to Arnold, but he played it behind him rather than in front. And here's Kabak. He's not had many good games since coming on a few weeks ago. This game has been okay, but again, he's still learning, so there's a lot to learn. It's the worst part about drinking juice. It's quite gassy. But anyway, there's Phillips. That was well dealt with by Everton. And that's going to be a throw into Everton. So yeah, so Liverpool are definitely getting themselves back in the game, and it's 6 or 7 minutes gone, but they really need to make a move soon. One of these plays needs to go in the back of the net and quick if they are hoping to get a victory. But here's Shaqiri, here's Firmino, he's making a run, and he's not spotted him, but here's Thiago, and here's Robertson again. It's a bad pass. It's a bad passage by Thiago. Liverpool are struggling to sometimes pass the ball, even just 10 yards. But we see Firmino, he's obviously calling for it, and the ball gets to him. He's holding it up, and who's he going to pass to? Trent-Arnold. Here's Firmino, Salah in the box! Shaqiri, Salah! Good save by Pickford. Salah and Shaqiri both got a little bit muddled up. Neither player knew who was to shoot, and in the end it was Salah. That was a fantastic save there by Pickford. But that pretty much sums up Liverpool's day. They are trying to create chances, and it just doesn't quite work out for them. And when they do get a chance to have a shot, it just doesn't really work too well. It's either straight at the goalkeeper or it's wide. And in that case, it was straight at the goalkeeper. Must be quite frustrating to be a Liverpool player just now. Yeah, I think. Hi. Yeah, some challenges will happen because Graham's coming back, and he is the challenge master. He will be eating everything. Anyway, here's Calvin Lewis. And Everton have got the ball. They've not really committed people forward. And here's Salah. He's making a run. And he's trying to beat the man in the 18-yard box, and he just went down pretty much looking for the free kick. That sums up Salah's day. It really does. He gets the ball, it's him, there's like 3 Liverpool players and 4 Everton, and he can't release the ball to the people in the box. But there we are. Salah tries to play the ball to Firmino, and Firmino can't get the end of it. Yeah, I think Firmino is a much better player when he tries to link the play up rather than him actually having to be an end of it. But here's Calvin Lewis, he's got Richarlison in the box, and for whatever reason he takes the ball past the byline himself. You had Richarlison in the box here. It may have been given as offside anyway, but he gets the ball, and rather than keeping control of it, he takes it out himself. Bizarre. And here's Mané. So they've brought in Shaqiri. Is there anybody else that they can bring on that can strengthen their attack? Just try to think if there is any players for Liverpool that could possibly do that. Usually Shaqiri is quite good at opening the front door. As I say that, we see him linking up with Thiago, who's came through. Shaqiri again. I've been really impressed with. And here's Firmino, takes a shot and it's wide. I've been really impressed with Shaqiri since coming on. He's playing with a lot of passion and a lot of tempo. He's definitely causing Everton a lot of issues in the midfield. But Firmino tries to get his foot around the ball and just can't get a good connection. This is a game that I think Klopp was hoping they would get the Premier League back on track. Not to win the Premier League, obviously, but to start getting wins so they can start looking to get second place or third place. But to get beaten off your local rivals, it's never a good thing. It's quite bad for the confidence. I'm not sure how long Henderson's going to be out for, because it did look like a groin strain. We can only hope it's a couple of days so that he's back for the following game. And Everton with Holgate are quite far up the park. I'm quite hungry. Can anybody suggest food to get? Oh, that was almost a mistake there by Liverpool. Almost played in Richarlison. Quick thinking there by Alisson to come and collect the ball. If you're Liverpool just now, I do not know what you should be doing. How to get back in this game. You seem to be doing the right stuff, but when it comes to the final touch, it seems to just be not working. Firmino, he's got Arnold in front. There's Arnold making the run. Arnold, and the ball doesn't quite get to his feet. That should have been a better ball from Shaqiri there. It was too much on the left hand side. Here's Richarlison chasing the ball down, but he's never going to get to it. Anybody got any suggestions what I can eat? I fancy something quite tasty, but I don't know what I fancy. Anybody? Oh, here's Trent Arnold in the box. You've got Salah on the edge of the box here. He should have passed to Salah. Salah was wide open on the edge of the box. Just didn't get his head up there. Seems to be that Liverpool are putting either Mané, Salah or Firmino in the box, and they're keeping one of those three out of the box, and they're just alternating every time that they get a chance. And Digne is down. He looks to have he seems to have a bit of a groin strain as well. But I think it was just a knock. I think he'll be able to walk his off. Let's see. Oh, Trent Arnold accidentally kicked him in the old in there. He'll be able to walk it off. So 77 minutes played. Ooh. Here's Salah. He's got the ball. Wide open there to Trent Arnold. And he plays the ball through to Mané, and he plays it with too much power, and it's just far too quick a ball for Mané to collect. maybe. Maybe. I might get a Chinese actually. I've not had a Chinese actually in ages, but I don't think I will. I'm trying to lose some weight, so not that I'm fat. I'm just the right size, but I just thought a bit less. And as I say that, we see that Everton almost catch Liverpool on the break, but Liverpool come back in numbers. So we're 78 minutes gone, and it's still 1-0 to Everton. If I believe that if Liverpool score, they'll go on to score again, but as it stands now, it's just not happening for them, and this could put them 16 points behind, no, 19 points behind Man City, and it'll put them on equal points with Everton, but they do have a greater goal tally than Everton. And here's Wijnaldum, plays the ball in to Shaqiri when he should have played it. Sorry, played it to Robertson when he should have played it to Firmino, who was in a better position, who was making a run down his right hand side, and on the overlap it would have been a better decision. They did draw a corner, but they should have played it through Firmino. Here's Shaqiri. You can see some supporters in the, well, I say supporters, you can see some people in the stadium who are aligned with both clubs, Liverpool and Everton. Must be quite a good experience getting to watching football in the stadiums. Obviously they'll be in the Liverpool and Everton bubble. But here's ball free to Mané, Trent-Arnold. And it just doesn't pay off. Everton see the run and are able to collect it. And Shaqiri's asking for it. Shaqiri seems to have quite a lot of space in the centre of midfield without too many people on him. So if they can play the ball through him just a little bit more, there we go. He was clear through there. He could get. He was spotted there, and they tried to play the ball, and it was dispossessed. But yeah, he's definitely the player that they should be trying to play the ball through just a little bit more. And here's Richarlison. He's got his head up. He sees Calvert-Lewin through to Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin shoots, and it's saved by Alisson. It's came back, and Alisson gets it again. Is this a penalty? I think the penalty's been given. I can't hear what they're saying, so I can't tell you, but I think it is. Calvert-Lewin went through. He shot, Alisson saved it, came back to Calvert-Lewin, and I believe he then got tackled when the ball came back to him. Just going to see this again in the replay. Yeah, Richarlison releases Calvert-Lewin, and right, if you're watching this, it shouldn't be a penalty because Richarlison shoots, Alisson saves, Alisson puts the ball to the side, Calvert-Lewin, the ball goes back out, but by this point Arnold's down, and Calvert-Lewin just simply falls over Arnold. I don't even know if Calvert-Lewin would have got the ball. So the referee is going to VAR to check this. For me, it's not a penalty. Anybody watching this game, what is your thoughts? Because Calvert-Lewin didn't get to the ball because Trent-Arnold was in his way and he fell over him. But for me, it's not a penalty. And the referee's looking, he's just quickly looked and he's pointed. I think he's given the penalty. And Trent-Arnold just says, is it a penalty? And he's given the penalty. Bizarre. There's a couple of penalty decisions that I've seen the past couple of days that I've not really seen as a penalty. But here we go, here's Everton. Doesn't even take a run, just stands there, slots it in. Alisson almost gets to it, but he just can't get there. Goal by Singerson. So that's Liverpool. Now 19 points behind Man City. With 8 minutes to go, I don't see them winning the game now. I'm going to change the score in case anybody's wondering. So yeah, if you get a chance to see that back, by the way, please check it and give me your thoughts, because to me that wasn't a penalty. Most people can't seem to get a ball. Never a pen. Never a pen. Not in a month of Sundays was that a pen, by the way. Right, and I'm being serious. Calvin Lewis, I'm watching it again here. So Calvin Lewis comes in and he's running to get to the ball that's been spilled by Alisson, but he's fell over Arnold. Anywhere else in the park, and that's just play on. But there you go. I'm 37 and fouls and all that have changed so much since my day of playing football. Seems to be every season it just gets more and more silly. But anyway, here's Everton. And Liverpool have 7 minutes to go, and they really need to get a victory here. A draw for me just isn't enough. But here's Firmino, beats 1, beats 2, beats 3, and he puts it wide. He's done all the hard work and couldn't put the ball on target. Yeah, go back to Liverpool. They need to win this, because there's too many teams around about them. One of them being Everton, that can get ahead. See, that's the thing though. There's a corner to Liverpool. Salah, as the box gets it, puts it in. Whoa, good shot, just on the power. I always think that my watchalongs get better as the end of the first half and the second half come along. And the reason I think that is because when you start doing the first half, you're not in the zone. But once you start getting in the zone, it's a bit easier. But anyway, honest feedback, that's all I want. You can say it's good, it's bad, it's this, it's that. Honestly, just honest feedback. Here we go, Everton again. And dispossessed by Shaqiri, and Shaqiri was then fouled. So here we go. They definitely need to fix out the lights in this room. It's better than it was last night. And here's Richarlison, I think, going to come off. Yep. He's been told he's coming off, and the referees came over and pretty much told him to hurry up and get off the park. 1 second. So on comes Alex Iwobi, ex-Arsenal player. So 5 minutes to go. Richarlison goes off. He's got a goal. He won't get the assist, but his pass did lead to what became the penalty. So he's had a good game when he's had opportunities. Everton haven't had many opportunities to get the ball up to Richarlison, so when he's had opportunities, he's done quite well. And I'm going to say my next sentence is he's had quite a quiet game. So he's had quite a quiet game. But when Everton have had the ball up to Liverpool's defensive line, and Richarlison has had a chance, he's done quite well. So that's my analysis on him. And this energy juice is absolutely frying my brain, by the way. And we see Liverpool about to make a change. Off comes Thiago and on comes Origi. Now Origi is a player that a lot of people like and a lot of people don't like. So it's going to be interesting to see what people make of the Origi. Yeah, that is Firmino. Honestly, that is Firmino all day. all day he's been like that. He's had opportunities and he's put every one of them wide. But yeah, on comes Origi. Some fans will be happy he's came on, and I think the majority will be thinking, well, there's no options really but to bring on somebody. And you've not got many people on the park, but I suppose Origi isn't their first choice. Here comes Mané, and he's bent down. He's looking for the penalty, and the referee's just waved it off. Here comes Trent-Arnold, beats one, but he gets shoulder barged. So looking again at this tackle by Keane on Mané when he was looking for the penalty. For me, it wasn't a penalty, but neither was a penalty. I could definitely not be a referee. And we see Alex-Iwobi chasing the ball down for Everton. So he's came on. He's playing quite pressing. That's something that Liverpool won't want to really contend with in the final moments of this game. But here we go. Here's Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum still got it though. And it's went to Origi. So we're on the 89th minute. Let's see what we're on up there. 8 to 9 minutes. So I'm only 40 seconds behind the play. Because of the stream and all that kind of stuff, if you use a website, you're usually a couple of minutes behind. So to be 45 seconds, it's alright. Again, to my point earlier about Liverpool and buying players, I think this proves that they need players. Here's Calvin Lewis. He's got the ball and instead of going forward, he's passed it back. Not really committing folk forward. They're just playing side. So they're not looking for a third goal. They're just trying to consolidate this 2-0 lead. It's quite sensible. But go back to Liverpool. So Liverpool, as you see here, don't have really any depth in their squad. They've got a few players coming in from the academy who aren't that bad. So they may not have to go on a massive transfer drive this summer. But what we do see is the ball through there for Calvin Lewis, and he's got the ball taken off him. So I think it's 5 minutes of stoppage. So I think that Liverpool definitely need to look at next season, because now this season's over apart from the Champions League. What do they do? Because they've no strength and depth. They're bringing on Shaqiri, who is still a good player, but you'd expect them to have better players. I think Liverpool have to be considered a team a bit like Man City. Really, that's where they should be aiming for. Because Man City can play on the Tuesday with one team, and then they could put out a separate team on the Wednesday, and still have first team players, because their squad's that good in depth. And when you get to this sort of level, you need that sort of bench. We see Man United starting to build up their bench again, and they've got a few players coming in from the academy. So they've got Mengue, and they've got Hannibal, and here's last ditch tackle there by Keane that stopped the ball getting through for Mané. So we see them with Hannibal, Mengue. They've got Thiago they just purchased, so they've got a lot of players coming through. Liverpool have got a couple. And there's a shot there, great save by Pickford. And quite rightly, he's a little bit disappointed in his defence, because Wijnaldum was able to get that shot away from about 18 yards out. So that's something that I'd like to talk about, where we see Liverpool's transfers coming up. Going for front four now. front 10, mate. Front 10, mate. And as I responded there, I missed that tackle on an Everton player. It does look quite nasty. And it's on Digne. So some treatment here. And with the treatment will also come more stoppage time. Not much, because I don't think that the referee's really going to play too much stoppage time. There's really no need. If there was only 1 goal difference, then that'd be fine, but there's more than 1 goal difference, so there's no much need for this. There you go, he's getting taken off. That could be the end of his game. He's only got 2 minutes to go, so there's no point in risking him. So 1 minute still to go. So for everybody watching, thanks for watching. Like, share, comment. Do you think this is a shock result? I didn't expect Everton to win this game, and in the manner they've done it, although Liverpool have had their chances and they should have taken their chances, Everton have been quite incredible the way that they've played. They've soaked up a lot of the pressure, and when the opportunities have came, they've been able to put them away. As a striker, that's what you need to do, because you may only get 1 or 2 chances in a game, so you can't just think I'm going to get more opportunities. But yeah, that's in the final 5 seconds. That's a bad ball, and Everton are chasing it down, and had to be cleared there by Liverpool defence, but that's full time. So Everton, that puts them up to joint points with Liverpool. Liverpool are now 19 points behind Man City if Man City win. So this is top 4 definitely isn't guaranteed for Liverpool anymore. If you can't finish first, then you're trying to finish as high up the league as you can. And without top 4, then they're not going to attract too many players. So with that is going to be the end of this stream. Unless anyone's got anything to say. Yeah, I think they'll both be winners, yeah. Just didn't take the chances, and that's the thing, you've got to take your chances when you get them. You can't rely on always getting chances, chance after chance after chance, and I'll need to check. Well, you can see there by the celebrations from Duncan Ferguson and what it means to him. They're celebrating like they've won the Premier League or won the Champions League. We see Liverpool and they're down in the dumps. You know, it's like a changing of there's a few players in the Liverpool squad that won't be there next season, whether it's because they want to leave or because Klopp says you're no longer good enough and they get forced to go. But yeah, that is it. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think my streams get better as the game goes on, to be fair. But all I want is feedback, what's good, what's bad, all that sort of stuff. But there we are. So thanks to Passong, TSM, think Graham made a brief cameo. Ian did come in for a brief cameo, and obviously George with all their delightful comments, although they did lose money. So yeah, that's not the good part of football. But yeah, so I'm going to end the stream here. I think that's me for tonight, but I'll see. Thanks. Bye. And I'll end the stream.